Today is Saturday, March 14th, 2026. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is the listener feedback show for Survivor 50, Week 3.
Week 3, and the hits just keep coming. We did our recap on Wednesday. We thoroughly enjoyed the third episode. And now it's time to check in with the fans and see what they thought.
Look how beautifully Paul did the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that really pops. Having their previous color, behind their names and all, that just really, really pops.
Yes,
I like
even
it.
I can see that thanks to this color scheme.
Oh.
Yep, they chose well this season.
Oh, okay. I hadn't thought about that. It is sometimes hard for you. You can't tell yellow and green apart or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Yeah, those are the worst. Well, I don't know about the worst, but those are very challenging. There's all kinds of different variants
red
of
and green
color blindness. Yep. Any business we need to attend to before we start checking in with these super fans?
I do not believe so.
Let's hit it. First up, we got a call from Pete.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. This is Pete from Boston calling here. Yo, guys. And we're saying, drop your buffs. We are switching things up, baby. Rap. Red doggy rap. And here we go with the great big... Oh my goodness gracious. Drop your bucks on episode 3. Though we forget what's throwing us off is it's Survivor 50 with the Kyle medical evacuation too. I believe already Q was the 4th person voted out. Even though you could say it was anticlimactic a little, it was not. I really did not see it coming though. I thought maybe there was a chance he could have stayed, but it wasn't meant to be. I think his downfall was, again, kind of like what happened in 46, telling Mike White to put his name down so he could save Stephanie, which in hindsight you could argue was honorable, but it was a mistake, and it led to him getting voted out by the David versus Goliath and Emily, and they should have never trusted Emily, and that's what hurt Steph and, of course, Q. So much back and forth there. I love with the swaps. We got Coach, Joe, and Colby. It's like Superman all put together in one. That is a pretty solid team there. How long will these new teams last? Who knows with season 50 here. Aubrey may have dodged a bullet because of a winning streak again, and she still got that idol. God bless that she's hanging strong. And then with the other team there, Charlie and Rizzo going at it. I think Rizzo might have gotten lucky as well. You saw his reaction when Probst announced Savannah being voted out the last tribal. I think he got lucky that he's with superhuman Jonathan as well. And that team, mind you, it's with new tribe mates though, finally won a challenge, and they got their Flint as well. But Charlie, he wasn't happy about the whole Rizzo compared not voting for Sophie, his number 1, they voted for Savannah instead. Charlie did not like that after the Maria debacle, so that could build into something in the near future for sure. Angelina had a purple edit up until now. You saw her meltdown there with Emily, and she dodges a bullet. I mean, she doesn't like Sari, doesn't offer much at all physically, but that woman is is a strategist and a social player, but I think what made that move possible was Q telling Mike what to vote him, and Emily flip-flopping as well, along with Ubicki, of course. I think Ubicki, you could see he regrets telling Emily about that idol thing with Devins and Aubrey having it. I'm worried now for him and Devins down the road. Watch your back, Ubicki, now with Emily. You can't trust her. And sad that Q went. I liked him better this time than last time. So, very good season. We're getting a lot of content, guys. Well, let's hear what Q had to say. How much he knew it was him, if he suspected Emily, even Ozzy, that they were going to flip on him. Take care, guys. Woo!
Whoa, thanks, Pete. Yeah, Q said that he knew he was in a bad place when he saw how the tribes panned out after the swap. Down a vote, he just didn't have a lot to
That
maneuver.
would make you
work
very
with.
nervous.
It's
and
classic case. Like Pete said, it was fun watching him play. I was engaged when Q was on the screen and he was scheming and making moves and making connections and being calm and not chaotic in the first 2 episodes. Even this one, he was fine. He did the best he could with what he had, but sometimes luck does not break your way. And it's tracking in a similar direction for Stephanie too. Yeah, he said Emily was just sloppy, chaotic
Maybe.
and sloppy. What?
I'm kind of thinking something's going to go down between. Mike is acting very godfatherish.
Oh, and the next time on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. They might decide that Christian might even decide to turn on him because they voted for him before and he knows they will again. Mm-hmm. If the need be. And with Emily and Ozzy and, of course, Stephanie's got nowhere else to go. So he doesn't need Mike right now. So if they stay together.
That would be something. Q said in his interview that Ozzy told him that he had given his extra vote to Joe, but he could tell something was off with that when he said that. So he knew that he couldn't trust Ozzy. It just all started to fall apart, and he was scrambling, but there just was no.
Why did
no
Ozzy tell him he had an extra vote?
Well, he knew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How?
From the journey.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking Ozzy got the pot. You're right. Okay, now I get
it?
Yeah, finally. It's like, how did he know that? But, so he was protecting Sari, and so Q knew that, could just tell he was lying.
Yes, yeah. He felt something was off for sure.
Not
at
a
that
good
point.
enough liar, Ozzy. Okay, I got it now.
Okay, moving on. Next up, we got a call from Rebecca.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy and all my Survivor superfan friends. This is Rebecca calling from Oahu, where we're having quite a storm. It might rain for, I think, just the next century. Wind and rain, and you can't go outside and ride your bike right now. I'm very, very sad. Kitten, indeed. Anyway, what a great episode that was, huh? And I got a vote off point. When I saw the breakdown of the new tribes, I just felt that it might be Q based on a couple of things. One, that he had no vote. And I thought that was going to bite him in the butt. But also, when I saw the Angelina, Christian, and Mike configuration, I was, well, they're all going to be together. But what I didn't see coming, I didn't see Emily. She does wear her heart on her sleeve, but she's a chaotic player, and she has kind of chaotic racing thoughts all the time. I guess that's our Emily. We'll see how far she goes with that chaos. Again, I love Christian. I love every freaking thing about him, even down to him telling Rick Devens, why don't you say you found the idol? I'm not going to get that stink on me. And his mugging when they were telling Suri the entire story, his reactions were gold. They were hilarious. And I thought maybe if Suri was looking at him, she would have clocked it as, yeah, this is a little much. He already knew about this. I was sad seeing Chrissy get so sad when Coach had to be, oh, by the way, no one likes you. Why? He could have handled that so much better and said, hey, I would tone it down a bit. I think maybe you talk a little bit too much. As I'm watching that exchange, I'm thinking, oh my God, I would be the Chrissy. I'd be the one talking so much. But I wouldn't be a mom on vacation, and I wouldn't try to mom people because I've never had children, and I enjoy the auntie role, not the mommy role. Oh, Colby hit his head, but he just kept on going. He was fantastic. I'm worried about Mike next week because he seems to be really getting into this role of I'm in charge, and we all know how that goes. But could his alliance of Angelina go against him and Christian go against him? I mean, Christian already said that, hey, you guys all voted against me 4 times. Emily is a wild card. Ozzy, he went against Q. It would be very interesting if that team lost again and they decided to vote out Mike, because Mike was trying to run the show. I am loving this season. It's kind of like every single amazing personality you have ever loved in this show is back doing what they do, doing it even better than they did it before, and it's just kind of gold, and I adore it. D, maybe don't go after Suri. Charlie, maybe take it down a notch on the whole betrayed by Maria thing, because I feel like if Charlie actually watched season 49, he would realize that Savannah was actually his number one, and I feel like Rizzo said that Sophie was actually his number one to distance himself from Savannah a little bit, so the Savannah stink wouldn't get on him. She's just been voted out. But I think Charlie took it way too personally. Anyway, great episode. I had a wonderful time, and I'll just be over here in the pouring rain and torrential winds on Oahu, not riding my bike, but packing, because we're leaving soon. Everybody have a great weekend. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Rebecca.
Great opportunity to rewatch Survivor.
Yeah, there you go. Next up, we got a call from Ryan.
Hello, Joanne and Stacy and Survivor fans. This is Ryan from Central Iowa, coming to you from a grocery store parking lot, grabbing groceries before the snowami hits the Midwest. We are in the range of 0 to 78 inches of snow. On to the show. Great episode. This season has again showed some remarkable moments. Top thoughts, top things. Emily going Emily. When I was watching the episode and Christian leaned over and told Emily, and I wrote down, please don't go Emily on this situation. And she did. I expected her to do that. I hope that she had learned, and then she just goes around to her new tribe, and rather than going to Christian and saying, Christian, what was up with that? She just went to everybody else first and just vomited on them, everything. And then when she got more information, she went to the next person and shared even more. And then she was Angelina, and I think going to Angelina kind of saved her a little bit. But then she goes to Christian and tries to fix it. And I think Christian did a really great job of calm down. Okay, I forgive you. We're going to fix this. And I think they did a good job with that. Another struggle on this was Genevieve. I was really excited about her. This episode really was kind of a downfall for her. She kind of went Jenna on this moment and was going around talking to people, and she didn't have to. And that's not, connecting is one thing, but connecting and throwing out someone's name and throwing them under the bus is another. And I think that was a really bad move. But on the other side, I think a good move was how Tiff did it. If Aubrey's on the outs, I'm taking her with me. I'm going to go connect with her. And I thought that was fantastic. Rizzo and Charlie, this was a really interesting moment in this. I really think that Rizzo is playing too hard as a fan in this moment. I think Charlie is more in trouble here because of his vendetta attitude. And that's not how he played in his last season. That's not how he played and got so far and did so well. And so I hope he gets rid of Rizzo, but I hope he kind of brings it down a little bit, comes back down to who he is and what he's there for. I heard you guys talk about the Q exit, and when he left, he turned back to Ozzy, was this you? And on TV, the subtitles said, yeah. However, Q was interviewing on Thursday, and Ozzy said, nah. He did not say yes, yeah. So why did the producers catch yeah? But Q states, I heard nah, no. So that's going to be interesting. Why did it catch that? Why did it go that way? Most improved their stock with this episode. I thought it was Tiff. Interested to see how that's going to turn out for them. Stock down, Genevieve. I thought she went kind of back to her old ways. And the winner right now, if I had to pick a winner, it's Christian. I think he's playing the best game. The dark horse after this episode is Tiff. I think Tiff positioned herself really well. One question as I go out for is this. If you were going to do a returning season, what would you want it to be like? The name of it? How would you call it? We've had All-Stars. We've had Winners at War. And now we're having Jeff's Faves is what I call this one. But if I was going to set up a returning season, is called First Out, Last Out. And invite back your top 12 of first out and then your top 12 of the last out. And that's what I would say. Thank you. Excited to hear what you have to say.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. You have any thoughts on that? First out, last out, his idea or your idea?
I don't always remember first outs.
That's the thing, too, is...
It's like, who?
Casting gets things wrong, and there's a significant portion of the cast each season that just feels like they were the wrong choice to me. And especially the first outs are usually the show weeding out some of those bad choices that they made. It's not always bad luck. Some of these people just really are not suited to the game. So going to them, I understand the idea of giving them another chance, but...
It's kind of like the guy that I can't remember his name because I've tried really hard to forget. And I think it started with the B that we didn't like. He didn't go out first, unfortunately, but we wanted him to go out first.
Okay, that sounds almost relevant to the question.
So, I don't know. I have a pause with first outs.
Yeah. I had an immediate reaction. I was like, oh, no. It's not just Francesca. It isn't just that kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
She got to be first out twice.
That was Philip.
Yeah.
Well, she said she'd never play again anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I think you're only halfway there. I'd keep workshopping that one. What would I do? I think I would want to do, I have two thoughts on this. One is I would want to do one called Good and Evil. And the advantages are all based on...
Yeah, that's heroes versus villains.
No. I'm not splitting the tribes up that way. I'm saying it's called Good and Evil because there are advantage choices that have a good side and an evil side to them.
Oh, you're like duo. Each person has the good and the evil.
Yeah. The yin-yang kind of thing. And there's opportunities for people to choose one path or the other, and you get to see with incentives in both directions. Yeah, and you get to see what ends up winning out or something along those lines. It isn't that I'm casting for a good tribe and an evil tribe. It's good and evil, and that's sort of the theme running through it. And it could lead you into different places. I think it could give you a rich ground for some advantage variations, and it could make some villains, and it could make some heroes for later seasons too. And it could, because Ryan was emphasizing a returnee season, so it could allow some people to make a big flip too.
What about third and fourth place finishers?
Okay.
It's like,
well, that's fourth place is essentially what he said, which is last out.
Yeah.
So you're just saying the ones that why not second and third if you're going to do that? Or
people who got no votes in final three.
No vote goats. There's a season.
Yeah. Something like that.
NVGs.
They got there, but...
Season 52, NVGs.
Yeah, they could bring Amanda back. Maybe the timing would be right.
Was she a no vote goat?
No, it's just she couldn't. She kept getting to the finals, but she couldn't pull it off. She couldn't articulate.
So that's another variation. Okay, there you go, Ryan. There's several variations on themes. The other general idea I have is, I have a theme, but have it not mean anything.
Okay, then you don't have a theme.
Sure you do. It's just not relevant to the overall gameplay. but it would help
Happy
us.
people.
It would help us remember the season better than 41, 42, 40. That's all. You can let the art department go wild. Thanks, Ryan. Next up, we got a call from Samantha.
This is Samantha, a.k.a. Survivor Rocks from Texas. Yes, we got the tribe swap I voted for. I like for things to get mixed up, and that's what happened. Sorry, guys. I didn't want Q to go, though. Emily running around, opening her mouth, telling it all. That girl has got to go sooner than later. I get Christian keeping her for the numbers, but I feel her game will come to an end sooner than later, as you can't have someone running around like that. I think it upset Christian, but he played it cool, and he didn't make any waves about it to Emily. So good job, Christian. The player, though, that impressed me the most this episode was Charlie. Even though we haven't gotten to see him very much yet, he's already on to Rizzo, and rightly so. It's not looking too good for Rizzo on his new tribe. Steph might have an uphill battle on her new tribe as well with the David versus Goliath 3. Mike, you need to go. Christian, don't get bamboozled by this guy. Get him out before he gets you. Things are looking better for Chrissy on her new tribe, it seems, with Arbery still in the trenches. There should be another boomerang idol, I believe, on the Kalo tribe, as two have been found. So maybe somebody will find that. Tiffany comes into the scene. If anyone can help Arbery, it would be Tiffany. Did Ozzy take credit for Q going home? Or was he just fessing up on flipping on Q? Q, you were a pleasure to have on the TV screen again. You will be missed. We enjoyed your time on the show. Until next time, keep the fire burning.
Thanks, Samantha. Next up, we got a call from Tara.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. Hi, Survivor friends. This is Tara in New York, checking back in after episode 3. And just to start real quick, dear Jeff Probst, please just stop it. Did we learn nothing from Chicken and Waffles and that whole fiasco? No rapping. Just please, no. Now that that's out of my system, I think we had another fantastic episode. For a totally random swap, I think the tribes shook out pretty well, and I liked all the tribe time, just like you guys. So first we went to Nicola, where Joe really lucked out after last week. And with him going, what's cracking? And then the Warriors Code and the honor and integrity with Coach and Colby, my eyes almost rolled right out of my head. But the interesting factor there might be Chrissy. Considering Coach has been in the exact same spot as Chrissy before, with Tyson telling him in Heroes vs. Villains to stop putting feathers in his hair because nobody was taking him seriously, you'd think he would handle that situation better. But instead, it sounds like he's really taking her for granted, and I hope it comes back to bite him. Meanwhile, the girls were really supportive. I have to admit, I've never been a big Chrissy fan, and we know she's never been a girl's girl, but how much fun would it be to see her and the girls team up to take out some of these so-called warriors? Over on Sela, I'm still loving every second of my USB Suri, but I hate that Dee is gunning for her. The big story, though, is Charlie versus Rizzo. Just by trying to keep up the appearance that he and Savannah weren't that close, Rizzo's gotten himself in some hot water, and he doesn't even know it yet. We're seeing a whole new cutthroat side of Charlie, and I'm loving it. Sorry, Rizzo, but I'm totally here for it if he's got to take you out, especially if it saves my girl Sari for a few days. Finally, we have the crazy situation over at Vatu. And just a side note, I could watch Christian play this game 100 times, and I don't think I'd ever get bored. I love him so much. His reactions to Emily were priceless, but I can actually see why she got a little bit spooked, and I'm just glad she didn't blow up both of their games. As long as he keeps her in the loop, though, I think they could still have a great alliance, and along with Sari and Devins, and even throw in Ozzy, that might just be my absolute dream at the end of this game. Never thought I'd hear myself say that about Ozzy when the cast was announced, but here we are. So I also agree with both of you. I think that this is the best season of U.S. Survivor we've seen in a very long time. But I'm also a little bit nervous, especially with the cast this big. Next week, it looks like we have our first celebrity appearance on the island, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I'm trying to stay optimistic, and I can't wait to hear what the rest of the fans have to say. Thank you so much, Joanne and Stacy, as always. You guys are the best, and have a great week, everybody.
Thanks, Tara.
I would say anybody bringing fish, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Come on down.
Yeah. Plus, if you can sing and play guitar, that's a bonus.
Yep, for real.
Maybe he'll make up a song on the fly there. Good stuff. Thanks, Tara. Next up, got an email from Matt and Summer in East Tennessee.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. So far, each episode is better than the last, and we hope that continues. Our joy is clearly measurable by the amount of shouting at the TV we do during the episodes. The only time there weren't couch comments from us this week was during Jeff's route. That definitely left us speechless, and in Matt's case, a little nauseous. Here's some highlights for us this week. Like so many of the superfans, we are fully on board for the Devon's Christian Alliance, but don't see how they won't be targeted soon. If either makes the final three, they will be so hard to beat, and we were thrilled to see those guys sharing info with Cerie. We haven't seen it so far, but it would be icing on the cake if she is sharing all this inside info with her number one Aussie. Neither of us are huge Chrissy fans, but her breakdown was hard to watch. Sure, maybe she needed to hear how the tribe was perceiving her, but come on, having to hear it from Coach of all people. That was harsh. How crazy and potentially dangerous that Angelina, Mike, and Christian ended up together after the swap. We also get the reveal that they are still close after their season. We didn't clock it as foreshadowing at the time, but did recall Mike making specific reference to his relationship with Angelina and Christian in the first episode when Jeff asked him his reasons for coming back to play. On to flippin' Emily. She says Q is a chaotic player. Meanwhile, she admits the messiness of her own gameplay in her confessionals, but doesn't see a need to course correct. She is playing the same game she played in her previous season and garnering the same eye rolls she got from us back then. In any other season, she would have to go and go now. But here in season 50, there are players that could successfully manage her unpredictability to their own advantage. Matt and I really didn't feel like we got a good justification on how Vatu settled on Q as next out, but kudos to the tribe for pulling it off with ease. If possible, we were influenced by meeting him. It's possible that we were influenced by meeting him at the Nashville Idol Hunt, but we were enjoying watching him much more this season than in 46. He is very engaging and entertaining in real life. Okay, here are our bold predictions for next week. New Vato tribe will lose immunity again. The David versus Goliath 3 will easily convince Professor Chaos Emily to join them in targeting Stephanie or Ozzy. One of the two will go unless what if Ozzy plays his idol correctly, either for himself or Steph, but he can't play it for Steph.
Right.
It is hard to imagine anyone, much less Ozzy, pulling off this scenario, but this is season 50, baby, and we're dreaming big.
All right.
If that happens, we can see Angelina or Mike going home. In any case, we won't be putting our save points on anyone from the new Vatu tribe.
Smart.
Of course, we want to hear everyone else's thoughts before we make any rash decisions. Thanks for all you do. All right. Thank you, Matt and Summer. But yeah, the boomerang idol, you can't give it away. You can only use it on yourself.
Yep.
Only till final 5.
Makes it easier for him.
Yep, because he can't give it, so he doesn't have to choose.
Think Stephanie's going to use that to her advantage?
What's that?
She going to tell him about Ozzy's idol? She knows.
I don't know. Why would you? Why wouldn't you try to get in with Ozzy? Mm-hmm. Even if she got, sure, if last-ditch effort, okay, sure, why not? But she's not going to get in with those other 4. Mm-mm. So, the odds are that if it happens, it won't be her choice. It'll be that they want to get rid of somebody in there.
Wouldn't that be something to see Ozzy take out Mike White? Notice how I craftively avoided him taking out Christian. Because they have a bond. They have a relationship.
And he's your USB.
Something like that.
I hear you.
Good deal.
Well, I'm thinking Christian could be the one to turn.
That might happen too.
I could see that happening because he's not going to like it if he thinks Mike is, telling him what he has to do.
Need to know how you're going to vote.
And I'm not sure how much longer Mike wants to stay.
There could be that.
He's hungry.
Maybe that's why he's going to go bold.
I don't think
in
he's
this
used
next
to
game
denying
cycle.
himself. So,
Yeah.
He sounds like it's,
He knows how this works, though.
Well, even Stephanie's admitting to, wow, this is becoming a real issue. I am hungry.
Mm-hmm. Vote me out.
Why haven't they offered him rice yet? It's getting...
Nope, halfway.
Getting the halfway?
Yeah, got to get to halfway.
13 days?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that seems too long to me.
Well, Prop said he checked with the doctors, and they said it would be good till then.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Matt and Summer. Next up, we got a call from Nicola.
Hello, Survivor family. This is Nicola from Lexington. I've got my mojo back. It's back, baby. It is back. Oh, I am thoroughly enjoying the season. Way more than I was expecting to. I'm loving all the characters. I'm loving the production and the storytelling, the camp time that we're getting, getting to see everybody. It's been so much fun. And I've been watching with my friend too. I think that helps. But highlights this week for me were, let's see, I guess all of the ladies having a moment on each tribe with Aubrey and Chrissy, and I can't remember who it was on the other tribe. I'll have to watch again. Anyway, and then the big moment for me that stuck out was the one with Rizzo and Charlie, where they did the flashback, and Charlie was talking about how Rizzo said that his number one got all the way to the end, but he did not vote for her. And Charlie was so offended by that. That hurt him to his core. I mean, he was super offended. So I can't wait to see what happens with that storyline. And then, of course, the Christian Emily storyline where she's just blowing up everything. And it was so good. So good. And, of course, Q went home, whom I said I was going to put as my vote out point every week until he went. I did have him as going this week, but I will say he was not as offensive to me this time around as he was the first time. Maybe I need to go back and watch it. No, I'm not going to do that.
No.
So, yeah, another great episode. Love the challenge. It was a lot of fun. And I can't wait to see what happens next. Looking forward to hearing everybody. Thanks, Joanne and Stacey, for all you do. I hope everybody has a safe and happy weekend.
Excellent. So happy to hear that you're enjoying it. Go ahead.
I'm not sure. Why do you think they gave Angelina that moment? What's
The flashback?
special about her that she got a flashback to her TV role?
Well, it's sort of intrinsic to what we know of her as a character, as a person. That kind of superficial thing would be exactly the kind of thing that she would want to boast about, because it's all about that kind of stuff, the climbing, the appearance, all that.
Okay, just thought that was a little
And it's saying,
singling her out.
here's another character who says they're different because they're older, they've had these other experiences, and she's right back to it.
It doesn't seem different.
Yeah, status thing. Look at me. I'm the main character. All right. Thanks, Nicola. Next up, we got a call from Drew.
Hey, Joanne and Stacey. Hey, everyone. This is Drew. Look at me. Look at me go. I watched the episode on Thursday night. I fell asleep toward the end. When I woke up, I think I fell asleep like right on the last commercial break and woke up as they were voting. Well, thank you for the recap, which I listened to today on Friday. And I put in picks, and I'm calling in my feedback well before the deadline. You guys, I think I'm in a new chapter of JSFL. Knock on wood. Don't want to speak too soon. But I'm not even that far in the basement. Just scratch and claw my way up a little bit. So what a great episode. I think that Christian it's so funny because he's so savvy, and he's actually socially really smart, I think. He's really good with people because he knows his strengths and he knows how to communicate in a way that's kind of disarming, and you just can't not like him. Emily, I think that was a crazy overreaction. In fact, for my picks, even though I was like, is this what it's like to put in picks early so you have time to change them? Is that, as you think about it, is that what it's like? So I put in Emily to go because what is going on? She was in such a good spot, and she just completely, I don't know if it's paranoia or jealousy or what. I don't remember her being like this kind of impulsive impetuous last time, but one of my favorite parts of the whole episode was Kristen pretending to be surprised, along with Suri at what Devon's was, whatever it was about. Yeah, it was about Aubrey's Idol, right? He was, what? Like his eyes and his mouth wide open. The kids and I were laughing so hard because Suri didn't seem even registered that, because it seemed like such bad acting, but he can pull it off. He can pull it off in ways that other people just could not. So it's funny too, guys, because I had time to change my pick. I had Q safe and Rizzo to go, but then I was listening to some of the feedback and I was listening to the group on the Facebook, and they were, I think Q's going to go. I was like, you know what? That's not totally unlikely. So I changed it and I didn't lose a save point. So when you plan ahead, it's almost like you have a greater likelihood of success. I don't know. There must be something there. I actually did not hate Q this time around. I remember being super annoyed with him last time. I think he wasn't nearly as cocky this time, and I mean, he still was himself and his personalities, and I think it kind of stung when he got voted out, but I wasn't hating. I just don't hate anybody this season. The ones that bug me just bug me, but whatever. Like even Coach and Joe, these big talkers who think they're God's gift to honor and integrity. Kristen is the winner of the week because he makes me laugh, but also he's really probably kind of a brilliant player. I have a friend who says he is her favorite Survivor player ever, and I get it. I hardly even remembered him from last time, but I really get it now. So we have a birthday party for Adelaide tomorrow. She just turned 11, so we're going to go out and do that. So I wanted to get my feedback in before Saturday because I knew. We also have football games. Do you guys know football? Does anyone know football? Not football. It's like soccer indoors. Anyway, I won't go on anymore. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.
I don't think I've ever heard of that. Happy birthday, Adelaide.
Sounds like soccer.
Yeah, I have to look that up. I don't know what the particulars of that one are. Well, how about that? New Drew. Season 50 delivered New Drew.
Our boy.
Good deal.
Good job, Drew.
Thanks, Drew. Next up, we got a call from David.
Hey, Joanna and Stacy. It's David in Pittsburgh, and I was awake last night trying to do some Q math, and I'm not sure if I got this right. So from Q's perspective, there are 3 votes against Stephanie, 3 votes against Angelina, and he has no vote. If it's a tie, then it's 2-2. So I don't know what happens then. Draw rocks. And then, so he tells Mike, put a vote on him. Red flag immediately. And then he tells Mike he's got an extra vote, red flag. So I'm not sure what he thinks his strategy is right now. And he's the one that says Emily Flippin is a chaotic player. When Q's saying Emily's a chaotic player, you know she's a chaotic player. Mm-hmm. So why is he going to trust her? And again, was ever a character well named than Emily Flippin? Because she's certainly flipping all over the place. But why are they wanting to vote Stephanie out in the first place? I mean, we've got a team. This is, I think, going to become the disaster tribe. Here are the strong players: Mike, Christian, Angelina, Emily, no. So what do? They go for either Stephanie or Q, 2 of the stronger players. If they go to another tribal council, are they going to take out Stephanie over Flippin? I don't get it. And I have to be honest, I'm getting really concerned about my USB. For 3 weeks now, we've been seeing a lot of Christian, and now it's not in a good way. The duo that's formed with him and Rick, and they're fooling around, hiding the idol. Okay, that's fun for us, but I'm not sure this is good strategic gameplay for them. I want to give a couple shout outs. One to Chrissy. Sorry you had to hear the bad news from Coach, but if this helps you adjust your game, great. Also, Tiffany, where have you been, girl? Glad to see you there. I have high hopes for you. And Jeff the Rapper. I just enjoyed that throughout. One of the reasons I come to this podcast first, Joanne and Stacy, is because all of us love the game. And there are times that we can be not so positive about certain things, but we love the game. And I'm seeing online comments already that this is a boring season because there are too many players. What? And people are still complaining about taking away. Come on in, guys. And this has been 5 years. So I really enjoyed coming here, hearing everybody's comments, knowing how much we enjoy the game. And as for the number of players still in the game, we know a lot of double eliminations are coming up, and we are all going to be crying and complaining when our favorites go. Talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true.
Hit it on the head there. Thanks, David. Next up, we got a call from Parker.
Hey, it's Parker from Indiana. And while I did enjoy this episode, I thought it was a fun swap. We got a lot of really really fun tribe dynamics. And again, like the premiere kind of mirrored stories on each tribe with Chrissy, Aubrey, and Angelina realizing that they had kind of a rough start to the season and having to cope with that. But let me tell you, you can cancel Christmas, and I think that Ozzy and especially Emily made a big mistake in this episode, because what do you mean? You're just gonna hand all the power to the David versus Goliath trio? Like, yeah, Christian's your ally, Emily, but he's known these people for years. I also think it's kind of a mistake for Christian. I think that it's in his best interest to get them out also, because working with Angelina and Mike puts a bigger target on his back, and he already has a big target on his back. So I think that is a questionable decision on his part, to be honest. Certainly for Emily, who just had a terrible episode all around. It's like the start of 45, Emily came back to play in this episode. She was just terrible all over the place. The Ozzy just completely folded here. Q was doing the best that he could. Listen, I know people are going to be like, well, why did he tell Mike to vote for him? That's so stupid. Well, listen, if he's going with the information that he has, that Mike just doesn't want to vote Angelina or Christian, and so and he offers up, I'm voting Stephanie, to her face, and Q said in his exit press he wanted to keep Stephanie from playing her shot in the dark because that takes potentially a vote away from saving Q or Stephanie here. And so he's, just vote for me, don't vote for Stephanie, and that's fine. And potentially a plurality vote happens, and both Q and Stephanie are able to stay in the game. Wishful thinking on his part, sure, but it's not a dumb move, I think. But yeah, it was a bummer. It was just a bad swap for my boy Q, who, going into the season, all right, it's Q, he's back. I knew he'd be back, but played really well. He wasn't doing the silly games and just rubbing people the wrong way and stuff like that. Like it wasn't in 46. I think it's because his starting tribe was so good and he was in such a good spot at the beginning that he felt more at ease. He felt like he could relax a little bit. It was a fun one. Good swap all around. Good again for my boy Colby, although definitely has a concussion after that one. Oh my gosh. A petition to get rid of the blindfold challenge. I hate that. I hate it so much. I think it's important to note that Colby has yet to have 0 confessionals in an episode. While his edit hasn't been huge, but he's also been winning. He has had at least 1 confessional in every episode, which is, if you look at the stats, since Gabler has been a mark of somebody who has won a New Era season. There are already some people on this season that have had 0 confessionals, all right? Colby is not one of them. Just saying. Could still happen, people. We got a long ways to go. But I think the double eliminations are going to start going pretty soon here. So buckle up. That's all I got. I will see you all next time.
All right. Thanks, Parker. Yeah, I was thinking back to what David had just said and then what Parker was saying. And I think that scene where we see Christian talking to Mike and Mike saying, I need to know how you're going to vote, or something to that effect, right? I don't know if I got the words exactly right.
And he's talking about being Machiavellian.
Right. In the confessional part of what he says, that's what he says. But when he's talking to Christian, he's basically saying, I need to know how you're going to vote. And when David was talking about this, I thought, it's because he's going to ask Christian to vote out Emily because he's going to want to keep Stephanie. That's what that scene's about. That could be the case. That's very interesting to consider. And that could be the trigger that starts Mike's downfall as Christian makes his turn.
Well, that's why I thought he might go after Mike, as if he wanted to take Emily. Even though, I don't know. It does totally put a bigger target to have those 3. And they should split up anyway. Because a lot of people don't like Angelina.
Yes.
Because they were planning to vote her out first. She didn't know that, but she does now.
Aubrey and then her, yeah.
Yeah, and so that could have an effect on Christian. So.
Yeah, lots to think about. Good stuff.
Because he's staying under the radar a little bit with his connection with Rick, I think, so far. I think they're keeping that dial back a little.
Okay.
And enough that they haven't been seen as a threat yet, or they haven't showed us that. But, it's out there and in everybody's face, Christian, Angelina, and Mike. So, and everybody was already afraid of that coming in with them having 3 people from one season. So, I would not be surprised if Christian did not target Mike. And he certainly got the votes with Emily. All she needs to know is Mike wants her out. She'll vote for him. And then he's got Ozzy and Stephanie. Mm-hmm. Even if Angelina wouldn't do it.
Yeah, wouldn't even bother asking her.
Yeah, they don't need her.
Yep, good stuff. Thanks, Parker. Next up, got a call from Shahin.
Hi, Jen, Stacey, and all the Five fans. Hope everyone's well and safe. Another amazing episode once again. I thought episode 3 has just knocked it out of the park. Again, it just keeps on getting better and better. This season is amazing. I am loving season 50. And honestly, this format needs to be selected from here on. If they don't go with 3 tribes of 8 from 51 onwards, it's malpractice. Because I think the numbers speak for themselves. The 40s were, I guess, plastered with the fact that they were hated seasons. I know, Joanne, that you said it was Stacey's opinion, but I think it's a majority of people's opinion in that the 40s have been poor seasons. It's not just opinion-based, it's the numbers, it's the viewership. The viewership has plummeted. I think 49 was one of the worst in years, and I think the worst in the 40s. I think it really needed a rejuvenation. It wasn't just bringing back all these players that we know, but I think bringing 24 players into the game has given us something. It's complex. 6 versus 8 people, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you have 2 extra people, you get so many more different interactions. Different trees form, different triangles form. It's just awesome to watch, and I'm really loving the fact that Tribe Swap happened at 21. We saw 777, and look, I forgot to tell you guys, but I'm doing JSFL for the first time in I think 2 or 2.5 years. It feels like it's been a while now, but I just saw it for 50. I'll go with it, and I think the first 2 weeks I got 4 points, so 4 and 4, and it sounds like I got the one that people didn't really get. So this week I got 5. I got the vote out. So pretty happy with that.
Nice.
I did suspect that Q would be the one to go. Q looked like he was in a bit of a tough spot. Vatu I picked in this episode to be the one to be the weak link. And Emily, I don't know what to say about her. She's just so messy. She's such a messy player. And from the outset, I just knew as soon as I saw Christian be the one to do it, I thought, no, they're done. Because Christian, I just think he's an overthinker. And as much as of a good narrator he is, I think sometimes he overthinks. And I nailed it. And when they went to Tribal Council, I just had a vibe. I think it's cute, it's going to go. So got him. He was my one to go. And then bank the points there. But look, I'm really enjoying it. I thought the Chrissy coach interaction was horrible. Shame on him for doing what he did. I think Aubrey's interaction with Tiffany is really odd. It just didn't fit really well. And I think Rizzo's in big trouble. I think Charlie's just smelled him out really early. I think Rizzo's the first one to go out of Sealer if that happens. And look, I hope that Aubrey goes because I'm just not feeling it. And that interaction that she had with Genevieve, it just felt very odd and very just strange. So yeah, thanks for all that you do. Cheers. Bye.
All right. Cheers. Thanks, Shahin.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Aubrey and Tiffany were so excited about, they're together.
Well,
their alliance.
For Aubrey, it's any port in a storm.
Well,
she was already feeling isolated. So just to have one survivor angel, as she described her, reach out, that thrilled Aubrey to no end.
Though those 4 girls could turn it totally around on those 3 guys if they chose. I just don't see Genevieve really wanting to do it unless one of them comes after her or does something she really doesn't like and wants to get rid of them.
There could be a really big, you got the Honesty Integrity Alliance, obviously, but there could be a big shift if Genevieve finds the idol here and they get together as a group and decide where to send it, because that potential exists, and she certainly found one and knows what to look for. So she could find the BB here.
Possibly.
I'm enjoying so much hearing all these super fans come in and talked about the RTF, the return to fun in season 50 that they're experiencing. That is so great. Thanks, Shahin. Next up, we got a call from Kim. Hadn't heard from Kim in a while.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy and Survivor fans. This is Kim from North Carolina. I am absolutely loving this season. I'm also finding that there are people who are interested in it who are not as interested in Survivor before, so that's been really fun to share with them. Cool. I put Savannah as my vote-off point for week 2, so naturally she went out on week 3. The narrators are doing a fantastic job. I'm just enjoying everything so much. I hope these heavy edits for Sari and Ozzy and Christian mean that they are going to go far in the game. I feel like Vatu may have a little trouble in the challenges, so I think I'm going to put Stephanie to go home next. It's great hearing from everybody. And Stacy, I want you to know that I also call it the Community Challenge as a throwback to one of the entertaining contributors from the past. Jackson. In my neighborhood, we have a favorite kid word that we use. It's called rambitious. And I really think it ought to be in the dictionary. I mean, hangry is in the dictionary. Rambitious is a good word to describe certain little active young people. Okay, everybody, look forward to hearing your feedback. Love this community. Love you, Joanne and Stacy. Glad to hear the good news from people's out-of-season adventures. Take care.
Oh, yeah. Good deal. Great to hear from you again, Kim. Rambitious, rambunctiously ambitious. That is a good portmanteau. I like that. Thank you. Next up, we got an email from Josh, the plush moose from Massachusetts. Dear Joanne and Stacy, it was another strong episode. Christian continues to be a focus, but I'm not sure if his edit is Winter or Icarus. Yes, I've wondered this. I also think it bears watching that the bulk of those leaving so far are new era. Point well made.
Well, not Jenna, but...
My other... Well, he said bulk. He wins on bulk.
Yep, he does win on bulk.
Yep. My other observations, everyone fell for Christian's pratfall. Genevieve says the fans want struggling chaos. Yes, please. Rick is wrong. Hiding a fake idol at Tribal isn't stupid. It's crazy. And he might be crazy like a fox. Someday, Christian's son will say his dad can pull a heist. If he's a teen by then, he's more likely to say his dad pooped his pants on TV. Yes, I think that will come back to haunt him to some degree. Charlie says he hates tribe swaps, but he voted for them. Isn't that a Maria move? Is it me, or has Christian modeled his character on Lieutenant Columbo? Yeah, there's definitely some Columboisms in his mannerisms. Yes. Emily reminds me of the puppy who chews your shoes, poops on the carpet, and then gives you the cute face and expects a belly rub. Poor impulse control and no filter. Yes. Camilla says Jonathan can throw people through challenges. Would they earn miles on Fiji Airways? Christian whispering last-minute intel to Emily was a fail. He should have sent a candygram. What will happen when Paladin Joe confronts the situational ethics of the Dragon Slayer? Yeah, we're all waiting for that one. GameBot Genevieve's emotion chip seems to be working pretty well so far. Chrissy can tell you that Benjamin Wade definitely isn't a player's coach. Camilla found out that nice things can happen when good survivors are faced with a bad camp situation. Chrissy's hoping for a better experience with Bracco than she had with BRCA, Braca. Rizzo at 18 didn't make an impression on Sari at a casting call. She thought he was an intern. Rap Master Jeff needs to keep the day job. Absolutely. People came to Sari's house uninvited and they didn't even bring a fruit basket. The nerve. Ozzy managed one of Mike's favorite restaurants. Instead of sitting on bar stools, you had to cling to poles. Dee loves Sari. Her friend knows that's how it starts and that it won't end well. Is it me or does Emily need to switch to decaf? Emily's just become the comedic character of the season. Start making your holiday plans. With Q gone, Christmas is definitely not canceled. Aubrey found her duo with Tiffany, so they're all set in a tribe of 7. That's Culpepper math. Indeed. Rizzo thinks that bringing up Maria's betrayal will endear him to Charlie. Bless his heart. It took 2 seasons, but Q finally found someone who helped him fall on his sword. The real reason Charlie's targeting Rizzo is that Rizzo went on about Billie Eilish, but Charlie's a Swiftie. Jeff says Mike is a master storyteller. I think I can see what Jeff's post-Survivor career move is. Rizzo and Colby use their heads in the challenge. I'm surprised Colby still has his. Q said he has an extra vote. He's probably having extra desserts at Ponderosa now. Emily doesn't trust her gut, so she should do what others say. Ask Christian how that worked out. Next time, Mike is Machiavelli. Genevieve targets the Dragon Slayer. Zach Brown shows up, and Charlie fake punches Jonathan twice. Does season 48 stuntman David make a cameo? I hope not. It'd be a lot of mugging for the camera then. Anyway, that's it for me for now. Thanks, Joanne, for all you do. Thanks, Joanne and Stacy, for all you do. I can't wait to hear what the other fans have to say. Stay safe, everybody. Thanks, Josh. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Joe.
On last week's listener feedback, someone called out that Q was the next to go. I remember listening to them and saying, well, that's not going to happen. Greetings, Joanne and Stacy and all Survivor superfans. This is Joe from Huntersville. Okay, let's break this down. Tribe swap. If I told you that one team got 2 Goliaths from season 37, you would think that they have a lot of bronze. I just looked up season 37. I didn't realize that on David versus Goliath, Mike and Angelina were both Goliaths, and that Mike targeted Christian's vote out in episode 12. Drama! I think that Mike and Christian are getting along great given the drama. So, getting back to the game, the person that irritated me the most this episode was Emily. She had a lot of nerve to get mad at Christian for something that wouldn't have even affected her. So for the good this episode was I liked Christian and Mike team up. I also liked that Angelina was not as irritating as she was in season 37. The bad was they broke up Christian and Devins and Ozzy and Siri. They also paired Coach with Joe. Are we ever going to hear the end of now we're playing with integrity? The ugly was that as bad as Vatu looked, they voted out their strongest player. Hopefully, Ozzy can carry them through future challenges. And also the ugly, Jeff Probst's rapping. God, that was ugly. My next vote-off selection is going to be Angelina, as she barely escaped this week. And it looks like Vatu is going back to tribal council. Joanne and Stacy, I don't know where you find the time to watch the episode, take notes, formulate your thoughts, record them, and post them on social media so that we can get up in the morning and listen. Thank you for all you do. This is Joe signing off.
All right. Thanks, Joe. It is quite the process, but we got it down after this many years.
We're usually up all night. By the time
we're not up all night.
We have been lately, 3 or 4.
We'll be up later because we get wired due to the process.
Yes.
But that's long after the podcast is released.
Oh, sure.
Saying that we're usually up all night makes it sound like because we're working, but that's long after the work is done.
No, we're usually done by at least 1:30 or 2.
Thought it was more like around midnight. We were wrapping up around midnight.
No.
With the posting.
No.
Okay. In any case, it's just the process at this point. Thanks, Joe. Next up, we got a call from Justin.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy and all the Survivor superfans. It's Justin from Michigan. So I am one of the people that really enjoy watching Q. I get frustrated with his antics sometimes and his gameplay, but to me, he's really entertaining, and I would prefer him over someone like Emily, who is a similar level of chaotic, but seems less calculated, if that makes any sense. Oh, yeah. Just seems like similar to her first season. There was no filter of, I should think about this, maybe this isn't a good idea. It was, nope, impulse is to freak out and tell everybody about the idol, even though Christian is on my new tribe. I could just discuss it with him first, get the full story, and then decide, if I wasn't happy about that explanation from him, then yeah, sure, go ahead. You have the right to blab about it. But for her to just go to them first and spill the beans and then have that reflection of, oh, maybe that wasn't a good idea. Now I better go tell Christian with my tail between my legs. That kind of gameplay, I couldn't work with Emily. I could work with Q because as chaotic as he is mostly loyal. He's not going to randomly backstab you 90% of the time. So I could work with Q. I could not work with Emily based on their 2 seasons. And I just like Q's confessionals. He makes me laugh. He's somebody that I would like to hang out with on the island. From an entertainment standpoint, sad to see him go, but that's just how this split worked. I mean, the only other option he would have had is to throw Stephanie under the bus and just pit himself against Stephanie. In his exit press, he said he wasn't willing to do that. He thought his best option was to, how he did, put the votes on himself, hope for a split. If Ozzy and Emily voted, Emily, and Stephanie voted Angelina, and then the David Goliath voted for him. He was hoping for a split. He incorrectly assumed Angelina wouldn't get to vote. She would because he didn't have a vote. So that thought process backfired. But even so, it would have been a deadlock. He at least would have made them have the discussion to unanimously vote somebody out or go to rocks. So that was his best play in his mind. So sad to see Q go. It was a solid episode. I think it's only going to get better from here. I'm really interested to see how they thin this cast out in the next few weeks. Is it going to be double tribals, 4 or 5 episodes in a row? Is the Mr. Beast thing going to somehow thin them out with bribes, buying them out to quit the game? I hope not. That would be the worst case scenario for people just to take money to leave, but that's a theory out there. This week, the reward has to be fried chicken, right? I know Stacy said doesn't know who Zach Brown is, but I like my chicken fried, a cold beer on a Friday night. So it has to be fried chicken and beer. That's a classic Zach Brown song. So looking forward to what everyone else has to say.
Except you see him coming in with a big fish on his shoulder. Yeah. Chicken of the sea. That must be it. Thanks, Justin. Next up, we got a call from Jill.
Yo, Joanne and Stacey and Survivor fans. We watched episode 3 and heard all their plans. Sun coming up on the beach on day 7. Survivor's on. You're right, we're in heaven. A man walks out with buffs on a tray. We're having a tribe swap here on this day. He handed out buffs, said a rap. That's our host, the man, the real legend. We love Jeff Probst. The tribes are mixed up. Alliances separated, some found new friends and some alienated. It's challenge time with a maze to run through, one member calling what the others should do. Camilla on point, every turn crystal clear. Left, now right, the path would appear. Christian was struggling, trying hard to adjust. Wrong turns piling up, his hopes turned to dust. While Camilla's directions were tried and true, and that's why the ones at Tribal were VAR too. Mike White's making moves with the Goliath and David crew. Angelina and Christian like the old days too. Stephanie's name getting tossed in the air. Q thinking that, the vote's over there. Night falls heavy, torches ablaze, a blindside lands in through the haze. I didn't see it coming, thought for sure it was Angelina, but Q gets the votes and has to leave the arena. Happy days, everyone.
All right, yeah.
Nice. Good job, Jill. That was very cool. I just expect that every week now. Next up, we got a call from Jeremiah.
Hello, Joanne and Stacy. Hello, Survivor friends. This is Jeremiah here with some of my thoughts of episode 3, an exciting episode that I was fortunate to watch at the live Know-It-Alls event with Rob Cessanino and Stephen Fishback. Their first time back doing a live show in 6 years. Anytime you can go to a live viewing party, it's always a lot of fun. Rob, of course, puts on a great show. Many of the usuals did show up. There was a few people from season 50 that were there, like Camilla and Christian and Tiffany. A few other surprises that showed up. Parvati was there. Danielle Del Renzo, haven't seen her in forever. We also had a John Levitt came there from Pod Save America. That surprised me. And even a Shane Powers sighting, which unfortunately I didn't get to see him, but that was really cool. And this will surprise no one, but during the after party, Christian Hubicki's line to meet him was longer than Mickey Mouse's line at Disneyland. Everyone wanted to talk to him. But my favorite part of the evening was being able to hang out with a lot of my friends, including many people from this community, which Christy Shipley and Mike Kamira and all of us had dinner and hung out together. So for me, my favorite part is always hanging out with all of my survivor friends. Granted, I had to be pushed around in a wheelchair, which was not a lot of fun, but I am so glad I won. It was totally worth it. And of course, the episode, big part of it was the fact that they did mix up the tribes. You know, I know, Stacey, you said you voted for it. I voted against tribe mix-ups just because I wanted to see a season where we didn't mess with them too much. But, you know, these are returning players, so they should be able to handle it. And the tribe mix-ups were very interesting. So I had a few takeaways and things that I was tracking from this episode. On the New Sela Orange tribe, they are definitely going to be the strongest tribe. I don't see them losing. The only thing that was interesting, of course, from this one was that conversation between Rizzo and Charlie. Oh my God, that was so much fun to watch. On our new Kalo Green tribe, I did find the stuff with Genevieve interesting. It looks like she's in a lot of trouble. The Colby, Coach, and Joe thing, the new Integrity Alliance, no surprise there, but something to, of course, watch closely. But I think the alliance between Aubrey and Tiffany is the one thing to watch the closest. And then, of course, we have the Disaster Tribe, which is the Katu tribe, the new pink tribe / purple tribe. I expected them to lose, and I wasn't surprised to see this David versus Goliath alliance. That's exactly how I expected it to go. Emily is so much fun to watch because she's chaos. But in the end, I had a feeling that she was not going to go in the direction with Ozzy because of the fact that Q didn't have a vote. She would have had to potentially maybe go to Rocks. It just made a lot more sense for the two of them to go the direction they did. Although it's too bad that Ozzy didn't have that extra vote. That could have helped out a lot. So my prediction for next week is that tribe will go back to tribal council, and I think it probably will mean Stephanie, although possibly Angelina. Should be very interesting to watch. But anyway, there's my prediction for next week, and that's it for me. You all take care. Until next time, this is Jeremiah from Southern California.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeremiah. I'm glad you can see the error of your ways and you recognize the value of the swap now. Next up, we got a call from Jen.
Hi, everyone. This is Jen in California, and here are my thoughts on Survivor 50, Episode 3. Oh my gosh, I was traveling last Friday, so I was awake for nearly 24 hours straight, but I didn't want to miss submitting my feedback, so I sat down and recorded around midnight, and I sounded so slow and tired. Even listening to it over before I sent it in, I kept falling asleep. I couldn't even stay awake for 3 minutes. And so my apologies. I should have just skipped it, but I didn't. And anyway, I am much more well-rested and alert this week, so let's go. I loved the opening sequence. I think it was the first episode to feature it, and it was epic. I loved seeing everybody. I think that they swapped too soon. I think that the medevac of Kyle made the swap occur sooner than anticipated, and that's too bad because I would have liked to have seen one more round of competition and voting before the swap. I don't think that Christian should have told Emily about the idol. I think they should have waited to see how the tribes fleshed out and then brought her up to speed. Having said that, what Emily did next was absolutely game destroying. The person who should have been voted out of the game should have been Emily, but more on that later. On the new Kalo tribe, I think Coach was coming from a good place trying to help Chrissy, but he went about it in totally the wrong way. I felt so bad for Chrissy. I totally get where she's coming from. I've been on the receiving end of somebody telling me something for my own good, but they deliver the message in a completely hurtful way, and that's just so tough. So I hope that she bounces back from that. The Genevieve-Aubrey dysfunctional dynamic has migrated to the Kalo tribe, and I am firmly in Camp Genevieve, so I was not happy to see Tiffany do what she did. On New Sela, I hope that Dee is voted out soon because she's dangerous to Suri, and I kind of want to keep Suri around. Jonathan too, and I hate saying that because I love Jonathan. And why on earth would Rizzo bring up Maria to Charlie? How does that give him currency with Charlie in the game? If I were Charlie, I would be pissed and I would want him gone ASAP, and that's basically what happened. Rizzo just said all the wrong things, and I really loved hearing from Charlie in that situation. That really highlighted how much they need to watch what they say. Too much reminiscing about past seasons made the situation very toxic for Rizzo, and he has a target on his back that I do not think he's going to be able to shake off. And now for new Vatu. At our house, we now call Emily the Billie Eilish Boomerang Emily because she flew out of control, torpedoed herself and everybody else's game, and then came right back to Christian and asked for forgiveness. What on earth happened there? I don't know what it was, but it was uncomfortably fun to watch. I think that Emily just has no patience. She was all over the place, and she blew everybody else's game up. She has no plan. She just went around vomiting all the information she knows. But good for Christian for adapting. I really think he's going to be okay. So I did not understand why Q wanted Mike to vote for him, but then I heard an exit interview with Q, and he explained the rationale for having people vote for him. And honestly, it was genius if it would have worked. Since he had no vote, if he could convince the David versus Goliath 3 to vote for him instead of Stephanie, and if Steph, Ozzy, and Emily voted for Angelina, if a tie was forced, Angelina would not be able to vote on a revote, and Q, who had no vote anyway, it wouldn't have mattered, so the second vote would have been a 3-2 vote, and both Q and Stephanie would be safe. That's too bad it didn't work. I think that Stephanie's in an awful spot and might be next to go out. I hate saying that, but I think it's true. Rizzo, Genevieve, or Aubrey are also in bad shape. That's it for me. Can't wait to hear everyone else's thoughts. Till next week.
Excellent. And your feedback last week was fine. Thanks, Jen. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Paul.
Hey, Paul in Louisiana here. So, due to severe weather warnings, our local station talked through all of Survivor. And since I had an early morning appointment, we didn't get to watch the show until Thursday afternoon. For those of you keeping score, that's 2 out of 3 Survivor nights that were canceled for us this season so far. But anyway, it was well worth it because, wow, these players are really playing the game. I mean, I had no clue what was going to happen when we finally got to Tribal. As for Q's leaving the game, I honestly said to myself that he wasn't the pain that I thought he was his first time on the island. But then he went and told Mike to vote for him, and I knew the old Q was back, so I was fine with him semi-orchestrating his own demise. I just wish that we'd have heard Angelina begging for his Q skirt when he headed down the trail. But previously in the episode, my worst nightmare unfolded when Coach and Joe became teammates, and words like honor and integrity got thrown back and forth as they both tried to prove to the other how worthy they are to win this season. Me, I don't want those traits in my Survivor. And you know why? Because as the logo usually says, the game is about outwitting, outplaying, and outlasting. And you don't do that with loyalty or honor. Vote them both off, I say. Oh, and I have to say that I don't care for the slowed down theme music that begins the show this season. But I guess with 24 players to highlight, they had to slow it down, or we'd end up with 6 or so players being shown in dead silence. And while I'm nitpicking here, I have to say that I'm not sure if Jeff is a better rapper or a better talk show host. As for the game itself, well, Emily is certainly all over the place and doing her darndest to get voted off. I think everyone is seeing how sloppy she is with her gameplay, especially Christian. And is it me, or is he a heck of a lot more confident this time around? I liked him before, but I'm loving him now. Except, come on, are you really trying to tell me that he didn't throw that challenge on purpose? Because, wow, that performance at the puzzle was just about on par with Sari throwing a monkey fist. But I did love seeing Rizgod shoot himself in the foot with Charlie and having it revealed by showing what was said the night before. Riz, you screwed up big time. But I did like that he said he needs to share his info with the right person. Unlike Aubrey, who's spilling beans like a ripped gunny sack. And is there anyone out there that doesn't know that she has an idol now? I won't even be surprised to learn that someone sent smoke signals about it to the other tribes. And that's what's making me feel as though our players are playing great, but that they're also all over the map. Everyone is playing hardball, and I just don't know what to expect. All I know is that our teal team better start looking for their Billie Eilish boomerang idol, otherwise known as their BEBI, which is the word that I couldn't make out when I saw it in my notes last week. I realized it when I abbreviated it again this week. So next to go, well, Genevieve might be in a bit of a pickle, but with everyone knowing that Aubrey has an idol, perhaps that'll save her. So I'm going to pick Aubrey to go for the 3rd time in a row. And that's it for me. Catch you all later. Bye.
Excellent. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, I guess that could happen. Oh, I just don't know that Kahlo and Sela are going to lose.
Yeah.
It always depends on the challenge, of course. I think, too, Rizzo may actually be okay because that tribe's going to do so well in challenges that he's just going to get a break. It's solely because of that.
I'm feeling good about Sari. I don't want them to lose it all.
Well,
and if they do lose, I want them to do Rizzo. They can only lose one. But I do think it's possible they could do another switch.
Yes.
In a couple more weeks.
Yeah. Well, if they were... We don't know about the next one, if it's a double or not.
Nope.
Maybe not.
They may not need... They may...
Next time on Survivor, saying that it's a reward challenge, so that means 2 challenges.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking, is they want these people around. They know they have to do it, but they want these people around as long as possible. And to give us the experience of being with them I mean, come on. Why would you do doubles early on? I mean, yeah, it's going to hurt worse later, I think. But at least we get to see them all a lot more if they don't start doing the doubles till they have to.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we'll see another swap, and it'll be down to tiny tribes swap. I think they'll probably still do 3 one more time, and we might even see them go to a 2 after that for a week or 2.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking when 2 more people go, then they're going to do 3 tribes of 6. And then the next time they do it, they're going to go to 2 tribes. Mm-hmm. And then after that, they'll go to
merge.
I don't know why I think that.
And they'll do another double elimination after the merge.
Yeah,
where they break up into 3 teams to do something.
I have no insight whatsoever. So
yeah,
all conjecture.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued by the idea that came up through the course of the feedback today that it, it's going to come down to Christian making a decision. Is he going to stay with the David versus Goliath alliance? He's positioned, you can tell by the excellent color distribution here, that he's positioned really well. He's got 3 with his original tribe. He's got 3 with the David versus Goliath group. He's set up in a really good space here.
Well, and the reason I think he might go after Mike, though I've very much been enjoying Mike, but I think that Angelina's not as big a threat. Yes, she has a lot of connections, but for that reason, a lot of people want her gone. And because, they don't gel well with her, especially Genevieve, Colby. I don't know about Rizzo. I think he'd be okay. And maybe Aubrey would. But anyway, Stephanie, Genevieve, Colby, for sure, the targeter. Anyway, I
think Emily cemented her position as a GOAT.
Oh.
She's a GOAT. She's got GOAT status this season for sure.
Well, and how could anyone trust her?
Yeah.
There's no trust.
No, she's so erratic in how she's behaving. Yep, it's going to be interesting. I think Vatu could end up there again. I'm curious to see if Genevieve's going to find another idol. I don't know if Colby's even looking, but Genevieve could find an idol there to send again. That would be interesting to have 2 of them come back to her.
Who would she send it?
That's a good question.
Let's see, they sent it to Ozzy last time.
She might send it to...
They didn't think he'd play it.
Right, that it would boomerang back. But she might send it to Stephanie to help protect her.
You think Genevieve would use it that way?
Would what?
To protect Stephanie.
You have to give it away.
She might send it to Stephanie thinking, she'll be the next. No, but Stephanie would play it because she knows she's in trouble.
Yeah.
So I don't think she'd send it to Stephanie. She doesn't want her to play it.
Well, maybe she does.
Well,
maybe that would be a powerful ally.
But I doubt it.
That's the interesting aspect of that.
I think
you have to give it away. So are you always giving it away, hoping for a boomerang?
Sure, why not?
Well, you could give it away just to help
the late part of the game really well.
You could be giving it away just to help someone who's in need of help.
Yeah.
And Stephanie is.
Why would you do that?
Okay. All right. Lots to think about going into week 4. We want to say a big thank you to everybody who took time to send in their thoughts and predictions. Great to hear from some folks that have been away for a little while. We enjoyed that. Loved hearing what you thought about the episode and how you're taking the new season in. We also want to say big thanks to Christy, Erica, and Tara for your subscription donations. Thank you so much for helping with the operational cost of the show.
And if you play in JSFL, remember to make your picks for 1 person voted out and 4 people who you think will still be in the game at the end of the episode.
We're excited and looking forward to the next 90-minute episode on
Yay.
Wednesday, seeing what
They're all
Zach
so
Brown.
fast, though. When it's this pace, it's like, it's over.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll be back on Wednesday with our recap.
Have a great one.